On the vast battlefields of the Eastern Front, where millions clashed in the deadliest theater of World War II, two tanks became locked in a duel that would shape the course of armored warfare: the German Panzer IV and the Soviet T-34. This was not a static contest of steel. It was a relentless, evolving rivalry where each side sought the edge in firepower, armor, and survival. The first clash. 1941. When Germany launched Operation Barbarossa on the 22nd of June, 1941, Panzer IVs rolled east into the Soviet Union, only to meet a terrifying new adversary: the T-34. The Panzer IV, designed as an infantry support tank, carried a short-barreled 75mm gun, effective against soft targets but weak against armor. Its flat, thin frontal plates left it vulnerable, while gasoline engines increased fire risk. The T-34 shattered expectations. Its high-velocity 76.2mm gun could pierce German tanks with ease, while sloped armor deflected shots that tore through flat plates. Wide tracks gave it unmatched mobility across Russia's mud and snow, and its diesel engine reduced the chance of catastrophic fire. Yet, it wasn't perfect. A two-man turret overburdened commanders, mechanical reliability was poor, and many were lost to breakdowns or fuel shortages. Still, German crews quickly learned their weapons couldn't penetrate the T-34 head-on. Desperate measures followed, disabling tracks, calling in artillery, even using 88mm anti-aircraft guns in ground rolls. Early clashes at Reni and Brody revealed the shock of Soviet armor, as mass formations of T-34 seconds and KV heavy tanks shook German confidence and forced a rethinking of doctrine. The German response: 1942. By late 1941, German engineers were already upgrading the Panzer IV. The result was the F2 and later G variants, which entered service in 1942. The crucial change: the long-barreled 75mm WK-40 gun. Its higher muzzle velocity gave Panzer crews the ability to pierce T-34 frontal armor at standard combat ranges, transforming the Panzer IV into a true anti-tank weapon. Armor was also reinforced. Flat frontal plates were replaced with thicker protection, and side skirts helped defend against anti-tank rifles. The Panzer IV was now closer to parity with its Soviet rival, though the extra weight strained its mechanics. Meanwhile, Soviet factories ramped up production. Simplified designs allowed mass output, including the hexagonal Mickey Mouse turret of 1942. The T-34's firepower remained effective, but the German gun had eroded its once overwhelming edge. Escalation. 1943. By 1943, the duel intensified. The Panzer IV Ausf H arrived, armed with the long 75mm L, divided by 48 gun. Side skirts, called Schürzen, protected against light weapons, while thicker frontal plates made it tougher than ever. The Soviet answer was the T-34, divided by 85. By enlarging the turret ring, they mounted a powerful 85mm gun and, crucially, added a three-man turret. Commanders were freed from gunnery duties, dramatically improving awareness and coordination. Trials showed the new gun could penetrate Panzer IV armor and restore battlefield balance. In the meantime, the Su-85 assault gun filled the firepower gap. The rivalry reached its peak at the Battle of Kursk in July 1943, the largest tank battle in history. Thousands of Panzer IVs clashed with waves of T-34 seconds. Reports show Panzer IVs engaging at 801,200 meters, a huge improvement over the desperate short-range fights of 1,941. Yet attrition was devastating for both sides, and the outcome depended as much on artillery, infantry, and air support as it did on tank duels. The final phase, 1,944-1,945. By the final years of the war, the Panzer IV and T-34 had become symbols of their nation's industrial philosophies. Germany relied on incremental upgrades and high engineering standards. the Soviets prioritized mass production and battlefield reliability. Germany's last variant, the Panzer IV Ausf J, simplified features for faster production. It kept the effective L divided by 48 gun, but stripped away extras like protective skirts. Panzer IV production peaked in 1944, but collapsed as Allied bombing crippled industry. Despite the arrival of more advanced Panthers and Tigers, the Panzer IV remained the backbone of German forces because there were never enough heavy tanks to replace it. The Soviet T-34 divided by 85 meanwhile dominated production. Tens of thousands rolled off assembly lines in 1944-45. Its 85mm gun overpowered Panzer IV armor, and the improved turret made crews deadlier and more coordinated. During Operation Bagration in summer 1944, Soviet tank armies overwhelmed German defenses, destroying thousands of panzers. By early 1945, entire Panzer IV battalions were wiped out by Soviet breakthroughs. Conclusion: the Panzer IV remained useful at the tactical level, but by 1945, its story was one of necessity, not superiority. The T-34 divided by 85, backed by sheer numbers and evolving design, carried Soviet forces to Berlin. The duel between the Panzer IV and the T-34 is the story of the Eastern Front itself. Innovation met by counter-innovation, and ultimately decided not by brilliance of design, but by the brutal arithmetic of industrial output. Germany sought perfection. The Soviet Union built endurance. And in the end, endurance won.